Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CoAnalyst podcast series. Today, on episode 6, we're going to explore how CoAnalyst enhances mobile forensics and evidence data and location data analysis. I'm your host, Allison Sullivan from Penlink, and joining me is Christine Talley. Hi, Christine. How are you?
Hey again, Allison, and welcome everyone. I have got to tell you that I'm a little sad that this is my last episode with you in this series. I know, but I am also excited that we're going to be talking about mobile forensics and geodata analysis today, both of which are very fascinating areas. So CoAnalyst has some impressive capabilities in these domains. So why don't you start by defining what mobile forensics entails and why it's important in modern investigations?
Why, thank you. I would love to. So, mobile forensics involves the recovery, the analysis, and preservation of data from mobile devices like your tablets or smartphones. The data can include things like text messages, call logs, contacts, app data, browsing history, GPS locations, media files. I think we're all pretty familiar with those types of that type of data that can be extracted from these devices. And given the ubiquity of mobile devices, they often contain crucial evidence that can be pivotal investigations.
Yeah, I had to look it up, and the numbers vary. But on the low end of the spectrum, it's estimated that almost 70% of the global population owns some form of a mobile device.
I would think it would be higher.
Isn't that crazy? It's still, I
Yeah.
mean, that's huge, so that
Yeah.
the challenge that we have with mobile forensics is the variety and volume of data that needs to be processed. So different types of data require different handling and analysis techniques. And this is where CoAnalyst comes in. So its advanced AI capabilities are designed to handle the complexity and volume of that mobile data efficiently and effectively.
Absolutely. And one of the key features of CoAnalyst in regards to mobile forensics is the ability it has to extract and analyze text messages and call logs. So they're often some of the most valuable pieces of evidence in an investigation, providing insights into communication patterns, connections between individuals. And those are just two of the first things I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, text messages and call logs can reveal so much about the interactions and relationships between suspects or just individuals of interest, right? So CoAnalyst can quickly process this data, identify the key conversations and the call patterns. So this helps investigators understand the context and significance of these communications and how they fit into the bigger picture of the case.
Yeah, and another powerful feature CoAnalyst has is the ability to analyze app data. So, with messaging and social media apps, a lot of the communication happens outside of the traditional, SMS and call logs, the traditional text messaging calls. So CoAnalyst can now delve into the app data. It can extract the relevant information and link it then to other data points in the investigation.
Yeah. Anecdotally, my kids don't use traditional text to communicate anymore. Well, I mean, except maybe for me because I'm old school. But and I don't think this is limited to a specific generation though either. I joke, but I don't think it is. There's been a huge shift from SMS texting to messaging apps for a variety of different reasons. So this app data analysis is crucial because it can uncover hidden connections that don't even exist in traditional communication methods. So whether it's those chat logs from messaging apps or the activity data from some other apps, CoAnalyst helps us make sure that all of those bases are covered.
Absolutely. And, with that text and app data, those different data sets, CoAnalyst can also work with GPS location analysis. So mobile devices obviously are always recording your location data, and it can provide a detailed picture of an individual's movements, activities, pattern of life. CoAnalyst can then take all this data, analyze the data, and then identify the patterns, the routes, and those significant locations of that device's activity or that person's activity.
Yeah, the GPS location analysis is incredibly valuable in investigations. So in one memorable case for me, location analysis was actually the catalyst that resulted in the suspect taking a plea deal because he knew his game was up at that point. instead of us potentially re-traumatizing the victim on the stand. So it was location analysis was the key to that. And so it can help us, corroborate alibis, track the movements of suspects, and identify those key locations in an investigation. By visualizing this data on maps, CoAnalyst then makes it easy for investigators to see those details and, again, the big picture at the same time and draw those meaningful conclusions.
Absolutely. And, another important aspect of mobile forensics is the analysis of the media files. So mobile devices or any kind of device really, they contain your photos, videos, audio recordings, and obviously that is a whole nother layer of crucial evidence. Co-analysts can then take these media files, they can identify key elements, and of course link them to yet other data points in the investigation.
Yeah, the media file analysis just adds another layer of depth really to mobile forensics. So for example, photos can be analyzed to identify faces, objects, locations. Videos can be broken down into keyframes, and audio recordings can be transcribed and analyzed for relevant information. So all of this again being done quickly and accurately.
Absolutely. And let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about evidence. This evidence data involves gathering and analyzing any data that can serve as evidence in investigation. So co-analysts can handle a wide range of evidence data. So it can handle digital documents to electronic communications. Its ability to process and analyze the data quickly and efficiently, it ensures that now the investigator or the analyst, now that they can continue to uncover critical information efficiently.
Yeah, whether it's emails, documents, transaction records, all of this evidence data is going to play a big role in building a case. So co-analysts can analyze these data types to identify relevant information, help investigators piece together the facts, and then build a comprehensive understanding of that case.
Yeah. Warrant data, that's another piece. So, referring to the data collected under a legal warrant, it often includes sensitive and highly relevant information, which is something that is not publicly available. And alcohol analysts can ensure that that warrant data is handled securely and analyzed thoroughly, providing then again with the end user investigator with the insights that they need for their investigation.
Yeah, the handling of warrant data requires strict adherence to legal and ethical standards, right? So CoAnalyst is designed to comply with these standards
Mhm.
and ensure that all of this warrant data is processed securely and responsibly. Its advanced encryption and then access controls protect that data while the powerful analysis tools then help us uncover those insights.
Absolutely. So I'm going to shift again. So here we go. We're going to shift now to geodata analysis. So it's another area where co-analysts can obviously not only handle that data set, but also excel in it. So geodata analysis involves examining geographic information and then uncover that pattern and relationship. So it can include anything from tracking the movements of individuals to identifying hotspot of activity.
Right. So geodata analysis is going to be particularly useful in investigations that are tracking the movements of suspects or understanding the geographic context of events. It provides a range of tools for visualizing and analyzing that geodata, which is going to make it easier for us to see the patterns and then draw the meaningful conclusions from those patterns.
Yeah, and one of the really cool features of co-analyst geodata analysis capabilities is its ability to perform spatial analysis. I mentioned earlier one of our previous episodes, the traditional crime analysis way of looking at data. This is where we're getting back to that topic. So, it involves examining the spatial relationship between data points to uncover patterns and trends. So, for example, analysts, investigators, they can now use that spatial analysis to identify clusters of activity, track the movements of suspects over time, and really identify what area is of importance or needs more attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that the spatial analysis is a powerful tool for understanding the geographic context of an investigation. So again, we're still talking about uncovering these hidden patterns and then gaining the insights from those patterns into the movements and activities of suspects by examining the spatial relationships between those data points.
Yeah, and One of the features of the geodata analysis capabilities of CoAnalyst is the ability to integrate with other data sets. And we talked about this earlier, that, CoAnalyst can ingest documents, Excel documents or Excel workbooks, all those things. And it exists even here with the geodata topic. It allows investigators to combine geodata with other types of data. It can be communication, maybe financial records, and obviously continue to build a more comprehensive, really snapshot of the investigation they're working on.
Right, right. We talk about the value of integration for an agency with access to a variety of data sources in our last episode, like you said, and it still remains true here in the case of comprehensive geodata analysis. So by combining different types of data from these varied sources, we're now working within a holistic approach. So again, ensuring that no piece of relevant information is going to be overlooked.
Yeah, and CoAnalyst will even create some of those maps for you.
Mm.
It'll create interactive maps or heat maps, route analysis, a lot of options. Obviously, the visualization is going to help the end user, the analyst, the investigator to then obviously see the bigger picture and understand the geographic context of that portion of the investigation.
Right, right. That data visualization is what's going to help us make sense of that complex geodata, right? So the interactive maps are going to allow investigators to explore the data in detail. The heat maps are going to highlight areas of high activity for us.
Mhm.
The route analysis can then be used to track the movements of the suspects and identify the key locations. So all of these different kinds of visualizations are going to make it easier for investigators to understand, interpret the data, help us prepare that intelligence product with our audience in mind.
Right. And it always can be done in real time. The ability to perform real time analysis is imperative. It means that, investigators can continuously monitor the geodata. They can receive updates as new information becomes available. And it's really useful for tracking ongoing events or monitoring the movement of threat actors as well.
Yeah, we're staying ahead of those potential threats with real-time analysis. So, CoAnalyst can provide that up-to-date, up-to-minute information, allows investigators to respond quickly to new developments. So this proactive approach may help prevent incidents before they occur.
Absolutely. And it's really important to take a moment and really talk about the data security and privacy in mobile forensics and geodata analysis. So, given a lot of the sensitive nature of the data involved, it's crucial that the tools used for analysis are secure and compliant with relevant regulations. And CoAnalyst is designed with that in mind. It's designed with robust security measures to ensure that all data is handled securely and responsibly.
Yeah, data security and privacy are top priorities for agencies. And so, therefore, they are a top priority for CoAnalyst, right? So, the platform uses advanced encryption and access controls to protect that sensitive data. And it complies with relevant regulations, ensuring that all the data is handled in accordance with legal and ethical standards. This gives investigators confidence that their data is secure and that they are operating within the bounds of the law.
Yep, it is. So another key feature of CoAnalyst is the ability to generate those comprehensive reports. And the reports could include summaries of finding, visualizations, detailed analyses. And this particularly makes it useful for presenting the results of an investigation to stakeholders or decision makers.
Right, right. I touched on the importance of our intelligence products when we were discussing data visualization in a previous episode, and that still holds true here. So
Mhm.
report generation is essential for communicating the findings of an investigation. If we don't disseminate our findings to decision makers, then it is not really intelligence, right? So it's just raw data or isolated knowledge. CoAnalyst assists in creating those concise and comprehensive reports, making it easier for decision makers to understand the key points and then take that appropriate action. So this ensures that the insights that are gained from the investigation are then utilized effectively.
Absolutely. And, just again, going to start to wrap up now, but, co-analyst capabilities in the mobile forensic sphere and evidence data are truly transformative. By leveraging both advanced AI and NLP techniques, co-analyst quickly and accurately processes vast amounts of data. It identifies patterns and anomalies and presents findings in a clear and actionable format. And it makes it an invaluable tool for modern investigations.
Yeah. Yeah. Allison, again, I'm sad. This is our last episode together. But with that, again, a little bit of sadness, but I am just want to say again how excited we are about CoAnalyst's potential as it continues to evolve to better serve the unique and complex needs of an analyst and an investigator. So, what I do want to do, I want to take a second and just emphasize that it's called CoAnalyst. These advancements are never intended to and will never replace the indispensable role of creative and critical thinkers in this field. But what it is doing is revolutionizing how we handle data. It's going to accelerate the path to actionable intelligence, and it's going to be an indispensable advantage for agencies that are just facing a relentless flow of cases, because we know that that's every agency. So, you are going to be joined by a new and very talented co-host in the next episode to explore more about CoAnalyst's analytical capabilities and how they work in detail. So with that, Allison, thank you for having me so much. And thank you to everybody for joining us.
Thank you, Christine. It's been a real pleasure having these discussions with you, and I'm glad that you were able to participate with us. Thank you again, everyone else, for tuning in, and we look forward to our next episode. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more insights into CoAnalyst and the future of digital investigations. Until next time, I'm Allison Sullivan from Penlink. Stay safe, everyone. See you soon.
Take care.